Chris says, there information in the mastermind and best practices for interlinking. Yes, I mean, I just described it publicly right now, but yes, we have very thorough SOPs now for exactly how I build websites and how to do the page structure, site structure, and internal linking, guys. That is what matters the most right now for organic ranking and local SEO. But that also has a significant influence on how the GBP performs. And so I not only teach what I've been teaching within the tree service industry, which is where I do all of my testing, but also example projects on how to apply those methods to other industries where the situations are different. Like, do they have multiple business categories? In the tree service industry, it's pretty much one business category, Google business category. It's tree service. But like other companies that are I use this example all the time, but an HVAC company that does HVAC plumbing and electrical, which many of them do. Those are three distinct Google business categories or service categories. And so that the way that you rearrange the page structure is always going to stay the same. That's going to be universal based upon my testing. But the internal site structure and internal linking has to be modified when you've got multiple service categories. Also, depending on whether it's a service area business that has one location or multiple locations, or there's a bunch of different ways to apply what I've been teaching, depending on what the specific circumstances for that local business client. So in the mastermind, I offer all the time, if somebody has a project that they're willing to let me use as a training opportunity for the rest of the group, then send it to me and I will do a full SEO audit, which includes how to structure page structure, site structure, and internal linking. I'm providing those in my audits now, which is why I'm going to raise the price of my audits a little bit. So I only charge $149 for that, but now I'm adding a lot more detail to them that I wasn't 6 months ago. Because before I was telling people in the audits, like how the recommendations, but now I'm actually taking the time to type that out and I'm providing you SEO titles, SEO title recommendations, H1 recommendations, and the first H2 recommendations. And now I'm even including internal linking recommendations in those SEO audits. So there's now my audits are taking more time than they had been before, which was 2 to 3 hours. Now they're taking more. So I think I'm going to have to raise the price on that a little bit. But that's just because it's again, I teach all this stuff in the mastermind. And what I'm saying is, what I do in the SEO audits, I will do for free for mastermind members if they allow me to use that audit as a training opportunity for the rest of our group. And I've had a couple of people take me up on it. I just had another one yesterday agree to it, that I'm going to try to have prepared for the Build with Bradley group tomorrow. But if it's not done by tomorrow, it'll be ready for the mastermind webinar next Thursday. So again, just letting you know, Chris, if you want to join the mastermind and get that information, I will personally do it for you and show you how to interlink, optimize sites that you work on if you allow me to use that as a training opportunity for the closed group, not in public setting like this, but just in the mastermind. So hopefully that's clear. I've wanted to extend that offer to people because I know I talk about this all the time, but I know a lot of SEOs have a hard time translating what I teach into their specific use case. And so that's why I wanted to offer that to our group, is because I know it can be done. It's just somebody's asked me before, well, why don't you have an SOP on page optimization? Because every single, depending on what type of business it is, depending on whether there's multiple locations or single location, is it a service area business, a storefront business? Are there multiple service categories, only one? All of those things affect how I would design the site, structure the site. The page structure is the same, regardless. Doesn't matter what type of site it is. But the site structure and internal linking, that is determined on the specific project. And so that's why, like I said, in the mastermind, I've been extending that offer so that I can show how to apply these methods in any circumstance, as long as it's a local, and I say any circumstance, let me caveat a disclaimer to that. And that is, there are some obscure industries that I really know nothing about, or that are kind of odd and that don't really fall into this model. But for most local businesses, especially service area businesses, so like contractors and things like that, this method absolutely works. And I've proven it now for 2 years. I've been working on this, guys. And so again, I would encourage you just to check out the mastermind if that's something you're interested in. All right. And like I said, I already talked about site structure and internal linking right here on today's call. And you get that right, guys. I'm telling you, you need far less backlinks. You need barely any content at all. You don't need dozens and dozens of pages on the site, because you reduce it down to the bare minimum, and it makes it efficient for Google to understand what the site is about. And Google is rewarding that right now because it's easier on their servers, their processing requirements, if that makes sense. And I feel like that has a big impact on search right now, and how Google positions things. So anyway,